What's going on, guys? Jkun Prime here, and as you can see from right behind me, it's time to talk about Joker. I'm not gonna lie, I fought with myself for a good long while as to whether or not I was even gonna do a video review for this movie. Because, not to delve into too much information, this movie, first off, it's absolutely magnificent. It's a insanely well done movie. If this movie does not win any Oscars come Oscar time, or at the very least get nominated for some stuff, I mean, they're already talking about Film of the Year and all that different kind of stuff. If it doesn't win anything or even a nomination, it's going to be an absolute tragedy. And certain parts of this movie, and I'll try my best not to really go into spoiler territory, really hit close to home with me, to the point that I actually said on social media after seeing this movie that the movie was great, but I can never watch this movie again. Because there were too many things that started feeling relatable to, like, my emotional status, my mental status, how I grew up, what I dealt with growing up, and things of that nature. Not saying that I'm gonna suddenly don clown makeup and go on a crime spree, not even remotely so. But a lot of the subject matters that they dealt with in the relation to mental health, like, that stuff hit pretty close to the mark. That I was a bundle of nerves in the theater. But regardless of my personal standpoint on the movie, it was very well done. It was very well executed. It's an absolutely masterfully written story. I almost want to say that it was too good. It was so good that so many people walked out of the theater on my showing not happy, because it wasn't what they were expecting. I guess the normal moviegoer that has been watching these superhero movies over the past 10 years have a form of expectation to them, where they saw Joker, so they automatically had it made up in their minds that eventually they were going to see Batman. And not to go into spoiler territory, but you're going to see throughout the end of the second act of the movie that, well, we're not seeing Batman this movie. Not by a long shot. And if you go see the movie, you'll see why. But it's set in a setting, like, early 1980s Gotham City. You can look at it and you can kind of already tell, hey, it's New York City. But the suspension of disbelief is very well executed, that you automatically kind of sit there and just go, okay, well, it's not New York. It's Gotham City. And it's run down, it's dirty, there's garbage everywhere, because they actually mentioned in the movie that there is a social strike on, like, the people that drive garbage trucks, that they've stopped collecting garbage, that they were on strike and everything. There are a lot of throwback cues to movies like Taxi Driver, movies like The King of Comedy. It really, really plays like a Martin Scorsese film. And that's definitely not a bad thing, because I do believe the director at one point wanted to bring Scorsese in to produce the movie. But Scorsese was busy making The Irishman at the time, so he sent his producer over to Joker to produce in his stead. And I was like, well, That's ultimately what got my attention about this movie, because I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw the trailer, you guys have seen my reaction trailer at this point, I was very unsure about this movie, and I wasn't sure I was gonna go see it. The moment I heard about that, and all the clamorings about movie of the year started perking up my ears a little bit, and I was like, okay, maybe this is worth a look. I think that this movie, one of the greatest things that it did is, I really feel like, and I've been seeing the change on social media, it brought awareness to mental health in a way that I did not think possible. Like, everyone is talking about mental health now, and I think that's a massive step in the right direction. Coming from someone who personally has a therapist to deal and stabilize their mental health, to try and improve their overall well-being, I think that is a fantastic message to send. I do think that the general public is going to kind of misconstrue this movie quite a bit, as we've seen from, like, there were police at my premiere, and social media was all over the place about, oh, well, cops are going to be at every premiere of Joker just in case something goes wrong. And it's like, I think that's taking it too far. But the fact that they're acknowledging that this is some pretty clear, sending some pretty clear signals about mental health, and that this is a subject matter you should not just glaze over. You need to pay attention to it, because there are a lot of people out there that are not doing well. They're not okay, and they need help. And so often, those are the people that tend to get ignored because of other people's point of views on things. Like, there are a lot of people that view mental health as a gimmick. There are a lot of people that view, like, needing to care for mental health is not that big of a deal. You just need to work harder in your life. And they actually talk about that in the film. Where it's not so much you're having a bad life, you just aren't trying hard enough. And, like, you know what? Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes you can try your ass off and it still not be good enough, because that's just how life is sometimes. And not everybody is mentally equipped to deal with that. And we need to help those people. And it brought it to light in a way never before, to the point that it's gotten everybody's attention now. And I think that's very, very well done. This is a standalone movie. It is not tied to the DC Cinematic Universe at all. And I think, honest to God, that's exactly how it needs to stay. It needs to not be a part of the cinematic universe that we've already built. And here's the big reason why. Arthur Fleck, Joaquin Phoenix's character, who eventually turns into Joker, he is way too relatable. He is way too easy to sympathize with. And you put him in a universe that's already been established with how it is and everything, you are going to get a lot of people that are actually going to be rooting for the Joker when they shouldn't be. He's too relatable, he's too likable. While he definitely went about things the wrong way, you understand his point of view of how he got to that point. And in some cases, you can actually agree with him. A lot of it just stemmed from people telling the truth. People having basic human decency towards one another. These were the things that were fueling him throughout this film. And in the DC Cinematic Universe, where heroes are going to be abundant, these movies are going to be connected, I genuinely feel you need a Joker that you just can't help but hate. And Joaquin Phoenix is not that Joker. This is a Joker that I don't want to say they glorified him into being the hero, but his simple point of view on how things should be small teeny tiny spoiler, rallied an entire city behind him. And you have that kind of villain in the DCEU, the heroes are never going to win anything over ever again. This Joker's just, in my opinion, he's way too relatable. He's way too easy to sympathize with. That I feel this movie definitely needs to stay as a standalone. And my final thought on it, I tried the best I could to talk about the film, the execution of the film, character. Well, honestly, I didn't really touch on character developments all that much. I really feel like the film is kind of very self-explanatory. That it's a down-on-his-luck guy that begins this downward spiral into madness that he just doesn't climb out of. And the movie shows that in a very phenomenal way. In a very cerebral way as well, because there are several points in the movie that are left up to interpretation that you find yourself sitting there going, okay, so did that actually happen? Or was it just in his head? And I think that was the director's point. I've said this to my dad. I have said it to friends and family, that the most famous Joker line in the world, when it comes to like where he came from, who he is, why he became the Joker, all that type of stuff, is a line from The Killing Joke, written by Alan Moore. And he says, when it comes to the subject of my origin, I prefer the answer be multiple choice. And this movie definitely plays on that line in a big fashion, because there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be open to interpretation, that you're going to be sitting there going, did that actually happen, or did it not happen? You're even going to get to certain situations that you're going to kind of just sit there and go, did the whole movie even happen? Or was it all in his head? And I think that is very well executed. Where the director is very much making you go, make up your own damn mind. Like, what do you think happened? And that's just very good movie making. Execution-wise, the second act did kind of drag a little bit, but it picked up with blunt force trauma. It picked right back up in Act 3, that's for damn sure. But I expected a little bit of drag because, I mean, you're developing a character and you need to flesh out what this character is about, what motivates him, what drives him, what he's striving to make happen. What are his goals? You need to cover that type of stuff, especially in an origin story, and they covered all of that. I was actually kind of shocked personally that usually in something like that, the first act is what drags, but this time it was actually the second act that drug, and that was a little surprising. But still, overall, absolutely fantastic movie. For my own emotional state, though, I can't watch it again. Or if I do watch it again, I am not going to be watching it for a very long time. But I definitely encourage you, if you dig the DC Universe, and if you definitely like Joker, because I know there's a lot of people out there that dig the Joker, definitely go give it a look-see. It's going to make you change your perspective on the character as a whole. Definitely bear in mind that this is a standalone thing. This is by no means meant to be his 100% canon origin story. So just go in looking to be entertained. It is a sad movie. It is a dark movie. There is very little funny about this. So know that going forward, you are going in and watching a drama. And that is exactly what it is. But if you have seen Joker, by all means, let me know down in the comments below what you thought about the movie yourself. And if you're new to the channel, please leave a like rating on the video, as it really shows your support and it helps me out. And, of course, last but definitely not least, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. thank you for watching, everybody, and thank you for sitting and listening to me ramble on about a movie that definitely had an emotional impact on me. That's for damn sure. Thank you again for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.